welcome to this month's XTIVIA live session. This live session is part of a special series, the B2B Pivot series. My name is Alex Killian, and I'm the video producer and editor here on XTIVIA's marketing team. Today, we'll be hearing from Lynn Sherrill, the lead digital strategist for XTIVIA. Lynn has been creating experiences through content and copy in digital marketing and messaging since 1998. She's known for her unique perspective, positive, empowering mindset, and her abilities as a high communicator to deliver significant value. She translates complex concepts into simple clarity for practical action. And Lynn, thank you so much for joining us today. Go ahead and take it away.
So, I am super excited to be talking about this. As you said, Alex, we have a lot to cover. So, really, one of the things that I just have to put out right up front is digital transformation as a name for what this describes is really just kind of a misnomer. I just think it's kind of a dumb name. Because what we're really talking about is how to deliver even greater customer value efficiently, effectively, and proactively. And due to disruption, it's no longer business as usual, but it wasn't business as usual because it's business as customers drive it. The thing that's happened as a result of recent disruption is that digital transformation is no longer optional. It needs to happen. And I've shared this in previous videos. If you haven't seen the rest of the series, check them out. But disruption really is an amplifier of what was already happening in your business. Digital transformation probably has started in some way. We're going to talk about things that might be helpful for you to know. And we have a big agenda, so I'll just keep going. I can go off on kind of tangents, but I'll try to stick to what we're here to talk about because there's a lot to cover. One of my mainstays is that business has to evolve in order to stay relevant. Relevance is what leads to profit. Transformation is the process of evolution. So therefore, digital transformation has become kind of a catch-all phrase to describe how companies can ensure their sustainability, their viability by delivering ever greater customer value. In the end, it's about a natural evolution in terms of business going to the next level. But we're going to talk about what digital transformation means. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about the top 3 positives and negatives according to some research from, about the recent disruption. We're going to talk about how there's one futurist says that this is now has surfaced a need to fast track digital transformation. There's also, and I'll show you where these resources are so you can check them out, but the idea is that, it's important to proactively invest now to win later. We're going to talk about one author's 12 steps of digital transformation and what digital transformation means in your own company. So that'll be our big bang finale. But first, let's talk about what is digital transformation? Well, as we said, it's no longer business as usual. It's business as customers drive it. So to accommodate the dynamic shift in focus, companies today they must transform their people, their process, and their profit centers to be customer-centric, innovative, and predictively responsive. In other words, a process of transformation, and you can put the digital in parentheses, a process of digital transformation has to be adopted to stay ahead of customer demands and remain sustainably competitive in business. And again, customers are both internal and external, so it's about the consumers of your solutions and the people who help deliver those solutions. Brian Solis is one of the most interesting people. He just put out an article that says digital transformation is about 2 different simultaneous upgrades. On the one side, there's the internal facing efforts that are focused on digitizing and modernizing operational systems, which is the foundation of business itself. But on the other hand, external efforts are aimed at developing a modern platform to run a digital business with its offerings in the ecosystem and the customer journey itself, that experience that unfolds in each touch point. So there's really 2 different kinds of upgrades that are happening in a digital transformation process. Here on the screen, you can see, for me, digital transformation is the process that companies proactively take to align people and process for profit. It means becoming more customer-centric. It means leveraging technology. It means delivering even greater value with fewer resources, streamlining, tightening things up. Innately, next-level customer experience is included in that. Self-service capabilities, invisible technology, meaning seamless, integrated, everything talks to everything, so that everything is integrated. It's a unified experience. And so that offers are predictive and personalized for your potential and current customers. It also means future-proofing your IT so that it's scalable, secure, stable, that it expands to accommodate needs as they present, stuff that you don't even know is going to happen yet that's going to need to be addressed by your IT. And it adjusts easily to meet compliance issues, requirements, and regulations. So, without purpose or direction or the ability to connect these dots in a value chain, digital transformation just doesn't go anywhere. So, because there is a difference. Digitization is about implementing new technologies. I was just going to say new tech, but I'm doing shorthand in my head. So digitization is about new tech and expertise to digitize and improve existing business models and methods. Developing a digital business means using new tech and expertise to create and deliver new value through products, services, and experiences overall. So there's really, those are some nuances to think about with all this. So one of the most ironic things about digital transformation is it fails usually with the people. So it's not even about the tech, it's the people. So, and think about this, people in disruption, they're already in an adaptive process. They're kind of reeling, they're figuring out what's going on, which end is up. And digital transformation, just one more stressor as people have to adapt and learn and change to grow with that. So really, to make digital transformation successful, it means better communication. It means making sure there's goals and accountability. It means that you don't have politics getting in the way or egos. You make sure you're emphasizing value for everyone, that your corporate culture promotes innovation and resilience, that people are in touch with or have a finger on the pulse of what's happening in the market. Where you don't have that, that creates what are they? I have a particular phrase in my head. Tone deaf. You don't want to be tone deaf in the marketplace. You want to make sure that you always have empathy and that you are connected where people are looking to connect. If you don't have these kinds of things going, there's something that, again, Brian Solis, he coined the phrase digital Darwinism, which is the evolution of technologies and their impact on societies, and where you don't evolve with behaviors and mindsets and norms and processes, where legacy-based organizations, if they aren't keeping up, they are going to become obsolete, right? So that is what's digital Darwinism. And I just think it's a fascinating phrase. So you could probably Google that and find more information. But at any rate, so that gives you lots of thoughts about digital transformation. And I would say if your company hasn't started yet or doesn't know what that means, it's time. So I did some research and it was really pretty fascinating. In terms of the top 3 positive and negatives, you'll see here that specifically as related to COVID-19, the top 3 negatives were seen to be a significant decline in sales performance, an inability to resume production, and an inability to visit customers. But the positive impacts, I think, are super exciting. Improved corporate ability of long-distance collaborative work, gaining an ability of online marketing and business development, and lastly, wide recognition of the value of digital transformation and information technology among all employees. So, and this little graphic up in the corner there, who led digital transformation in your company? The CEO, the CTO, or COVID? It's funny, but it's actually pretty serious, because that definitely has become a new source of urgency to make things happen. There's a senior analyst director, let's see, what's her title? Sandy Shen, senior director analyst at Gartner. She said, I hope that she's a she, I don't know. Sandy, maybe a he, and Sandy, if you're watching this, please forgive me for not knowing that. But what you said is brilliant, Sandy, I'll say. This is a wake-up call for organizations that have placed too much focus on daily operational needs at the expense of investing in digital business and long-term resilience. Businesses that can shift technology capacity and investments to digital platforms will mitigate the impact of the outbreak and keep their companies running smoothly now and over the long term. Bam! That's like one of those mic drop moments, right? So that really, I Sandy Shen at Gartner said that. I found that just to be very profound. And here is something that a futurist, Bernard Marr, talked about. Bernard Marr says that people turn to digital tools to keep some semblance of normality, and it's been imperative to digitally transform our places of work and education to be able to operate effectively. Those companies able to use tech well to keep going and rethink their business model for the future by fast-tracking digital transformation will be ones ahead of their competition. So here it is, boom. Time to fast track. It just is no longer optional. I think we covered that in our last video. But anyway, here's another on CO.com. They've basically said that it is important to proactively invest now in order to win later. So I love this. I bolded this statement here. Organizations that contained costs during past disruptions felt pressure from companies that took a pro-investment approach when the global economy rebounded. So that's fairly predictable. So this is about boosting business resiliency. Now they have several recommendations, and obviously this is a tech approach. Scale cloud and experience as a service, and boost process automation, scale DevOps, fortify data analytics, self-service. Those are all really important things. XTIVIA as a company has some recommendations on where to start. One of the things that I don't think that we talk about enough, and maybe we'll have to do something about that, is that really XTIVIA has in-house expertise that cover a lot of different areas. So you're not, when you come to XTIVIA, you get the whole access to the whole ecosystem. It's pretty impressive what you can do. So you don't have to isolate over here with this one partner and then go over to this one. You know, we can pull it all together for you. So this really, you know, the point being, invest now to win later. A lot of companies are trying to hold back, and this is not the time to do that. This is the time you want to think strategically and proactively. And I think video 1 of the series will talk about the 3 different paths of what happens, what companies have a choice to do right now. You're at a choice point, and what will happen. So check that out if you haven't seen it. To make the most of our time, I'll just keep going here. But there's an article that just appeared on Forbes where the author has, he put out a book and he adapted the 12 steps of digital transformation out of that book to be what you see here in this graphic. So he says it's about solving traditional problems with technology. So that's his definition of digital transformation. And he says these 12 things: customer focus, organizational structure, change management, transformational leadership, technology decisions, integration of all data systems. Now that is completely vital. I mean, all of these, internal customer experience, logistics and supply chain, data security, privacy and data ethics, evolution of products, services and processes, digitization and personalization. These are all huge buckets. Like, this makes it look really simple and really easy, but there's a lot of meat in this. And again, we have the link for you if you, and if you can't download it or whatever, please reach out to me. My information's on the last slide here, so you'll see how to reach out, and I'll be sure to send it to you. But here's the big question. What does digital transformation look like for your company, especially during disruption? The answer, nobody knows. So digital transformation is ever evolving. It is never ending. It is continuous improvement for every process, protocol, and position within your company. So nobody can actually tell you. There's these 12 steps, and yeah, they said start with these things, and somebody else said, oh yeah, you got to fast track it, and somebody said, okay. Everybody's got different approaches, and it really depends on your company, your life cycle, with your resources, with your priorities. That is what's going to drive your digital transformation process. So one way to determine your best approach is to think strategically about what your customer is experiencing, and then reverse the process in order to find gaps and deficiencies and opportunities for upgrade. So if you start with, okay, the customer is onboarding with us, how is that experience looking? And then, okay, what did they have to do to become a customer? What was the sales process like? And then What was the marketing like to attract their business? And how did we do in terms of evaluating and in the consideration phase? And then backtrack from there. Well, how did we describe the solution? And what was our information? And how did we deliver that? Were we out visible on social media? Or what was our distribution channels? So what was our brand presence and visibility about? See, you just go backwards in the process. And you can do the same thing with your internal customers. You think about the process that they're doing and what solutions they're using to make that happen. What systems do they use? How do they access those? Are they customized? Are they being as efficient as possible? Are they still doing stuff manually? What's happening in terms of automation of routine tasks? Are they collaborating with each other, especially in this remote work during disruption? And where are they getting their insights from? How are they extracting data to make more informed decisions? So you can work backwards, basically. So the point is you can reverse engineer your best approach for digital transformation in your company during this time of disruption, after disruption, at any point. It is important for companies to take a look at what's happening in terms of digital transformation. Now, one of the most interesting things about XTIVIA is that XTIVIA supports digital transformation and meets our customers wherever they are in that journey. So if customers need to connect their applications, if they're trying to, it's APIs, what I was trying to get out of my head, but if you need APIs to make your systems all talk to each other, if you need your databases to be continuously running and maintained, if you need, whatever is happening for you in terms of digital transformation, wherever your needs and deficiencies and opportunities are, we likely have information available to you either in our blogs or in our videos. And already there's just a ton of stuff out there that can be helpful. Digital transformation, as I shared earlier, is really about people. It's people make the difference in terms of making or breaking digital transformation. And again, digital transformation is just, I need to come up with a new word for that. I don't know. It's it's business evolution. So anyway, we just have a ton of stuff on XTIVIA's website and our YouTube channel. We have downloadable PDFs. We have all kinds of things. And then feel free, of course, to reach out and ping me directly. You'll see my information on the last slide here. But the bottom line is that digital transformation is a very personalized process. So in summary, it's about ensuring your company's long-term sustainability is there by streamlining and delivering ever greater customer value. That's right there, boom, that's it in a nutshell. So there's lots of different approaches you can take. It's a highly personalized process. So there is no book that it will tell you exactly what your company should do. At the same time, disruption is turning things upside down. Disruption is actually an amplifier of what was already happening in your business. It just surfaces opportunities for growth and innovation. And especially as your customers' needs and wants are dynamic and changing, and priorities and buying patterns are changing. So disruption is really, I think it's generative energy that can change how your company is doing and how your company is achieving success. So you want to use the energy of disruption to fuel proactive progress in your company's digital transformation process. And it is definitely the investment that will pay you back. This new quote unquote new normal, this new normal is an opportunity to really create next level business by placing people and their experiences at the center of your brand and your decision making. So the path forward is to see and upgrade and even transcend what's been up until now in terms of processes, priorities, value chains around supply and demand. And if your company stays stuck in survival or trying to do things the way that they've always been done, it's really hard. You can't stay where you are and get where you want to go, right? So you have to go beyond just keeping up. You have to go beyond where you are to thrive for what's coming, which we don't even know yet what's coming, right? So it means understanding that what you no longer want, or what is no longer a good use of resources going forward, or what needs to be upgraded. You've got to know these things. So what do you need to eliminate? What do you need to reduce? What things do you need to upgrade? And what things do you need to innovate? Those are 4 good questions. That comes from the Blue Ocean Strategy. So you might recognize those from that. It's a phenomenal book if you haven't read that. But really, the time is now. It is a milestone in humanity that's creating not just a new normal that we can't even really see yet, but it's about a new interpretation and definition of business going forward. So it's very exciting. And again, here's my information. Please use it. Let's talk about what's going on for you in terms of digital transformation and disruption. I would love to have that conversation with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lynn. As she mentioned, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or want to discuss anything further. And please do keep up to date with our YouTube channel. There's going to be lots more content coming out. So thank you so much for joining us, and have a great day, everybody.